Hi everyone, I'm Colin Butcher, the Pet Detective, and you are watching Pet Detective TV. This video is the final in the series in relation to the theft of Amber. This is the 2-year-old corgi that was stolen on the 26th of February during a burglary in Yateley, whilst her owner, Barbara, a 95-year-old woman, was home alone. And it's just to round up what's happened, how Barbara is, and there's a message towards at the end of the video from Barbara, so stay with the video to catch what she has to say. So this story started over 10 years ago, and it was an unrelated incident that would span an entire decade and impact upon why Amber subsequently got stolen. So 10 years ago, a local chap had one too many drinks at his local pub, and on the way home lost control of his car, mounted the pavement and crashed into Barbara's front wall, and the collision cracked the wall in 2 places. Now the police attended, the driver was arrested, the car was removed, and the driver, I understand, was banned for a couple of years. So 10 years later, to January 2021, and this is where the events started to unfold that led to the theft of Amber. So in January 2021, Barbara and Douglas were sitting at home one early afternoon, and somebody knocked at their door, and upon answering, a chap told Douglas that he was a local builder and he'd noticed the cracks in the wall, and he was prepared to fix those cracks on their behalf for a fee of about £75. However, both Douglas and his mother were self-isolating, so they declined the offer, said no thank you, the structure has been there for 10 years, it's unlikely to move, and the guy left. But he was a very, very persistent character, and he returned on no fewer than 5 more occasions. And on 2 of those occasions, Barbara was on her own at home, and he sought to persuade her that she should have the wall fixed. So when Douglas came home and found this guy on his drive in this orange Ford Ranger pickup, he was quite upset, and he turned him away again. And a couple of days later, Douglas was dismayed to discover that when he was leaving his house one day, a large section of the front wall had collapsed onto the grass and onto the footpath. And surprise, surprise, a couple of days later, the builder returned. This time he had a colleague with him, and he was saying, I told you should have got the wall fixed. Now it's going to cost you a lot more money to fix it, and the council have instructed me to come round and fix it on your behalf. Now this really upset Douglas, because he felt that the builder was trying to pull a fast one over on him, and the discussion got a little bit heated, with Douglas threatening to call the police unless the 2 men left. Then we move forward to the events of the 26th of February, where Douglas was down the local supermarket getting some prescriptions for his mother and some groceries, and he saw these builder chaps in their truck. This is the Ford Ranger, the orange Ford Ranger. They both recognized each other, and Douglas immediately felt very, very uneasy, because the guy quickly maneuvered his truck around and shot out of the car park. And Douglas entered the supermarket feeling a bit uneasy, but not quite sure what was causing that feeling. Well, sadly, 30 minutes later, he discovered what the cause was, because when he got home, he realized that his dog Amber, or his mother's dog Amber, had been stolen. So on the evening of the Friday the 26th, the police attended, took details of the burglary, made a couple of very quick inquiries, and then left. And then a different police officer came the following day, and statements were taken, and some photographs of Amber were obtained. And our investigation started immediately, and that was primarily due to the fact that Douglas had shared with us that on the Saturday evening, the 27th, his mother had collapsed at home, and had to be rushed to hospital in an ambulance. So one of the first things that we do on an investigation into the theft of a dog is we work out what category of dog thief are we dealing with, and there are 4 categories, and we quickly identified that this was a specialist dog theft. Clearly Amber had been targeted. She was the only item stolen from the house. The thieves were aware that she was in that household and had even commented in the past that they knew somebody, a family member, who had a corgi. So we knew that we were dealing with specialist dog thieves who may have had a buyer for the dog that they were stealing, or knew exactly what they're going to do with the dog when they stole it. That's how we push this case forward. So once we've worked out the category of dog thief that we're dealing with and the strategy we're going to use, we immediately implement that. And it's like we have a list of, to start with, about 30 things that we do for that strategy. But we are not able to tell you exactly what's in that strategy for obvious reasons that may undermine our future investigations. So I'll allow you to use your imagination to fill in the gaps. The social media always plays a big part in any investigation, because sometimes someone's electronic footprint can tell you just as much as the descriptions and the statements of the witnesses. But a word on social media within investigations, it is one of the many tools that an investigator uses. I see a lot of investigations into stolen dogs where the social media project becomes the only means that is used by the owners of the dog to try and get their dog back, the expression making it too hot to handle. Social media is a greedy monster, and it can very quickly soak up all your time, so you have to utilize it properly. And one of my recommendations for anybody whose dog has gone missing is get a friend to manage your social media for you. Focus on keeping a clear head and an overview of your investigation, as opposed to feeding the monster, which is social media. Now, another useful tool that we have, apart from the obvious Google searches that can be done, is we subscribe to a number of different pay-as-you-use databases, and that enables us to do what we call cross-indexing. And this is a tried and tested police method where we start to link up key pieces of information between vehicles, sightings of the vehicles, where were they, what they were doing. And you get an in-depth understanding of how some random event does actually have a bearing on your case. So we were able to pinpoint a pattern of this vehicle, where it was seen on a regular basis. And from many, many years of experience, we tend to appreciate the fact that when you get a build-up of sightings of a particular vehicle, it's quite often due to the fact that the vehicle is either arriving or leaving the workplace, or arriving and leaving where the person lives. We have an expression, as all professional investigators know, that you make your own luck in our industry. And it's about being out there at the right time, asking the right questions, speaking to the right people, being thorough. Tenacity is a skill that's often overlooked in detectives, but it's the attention to detail that often reaps the rewards. And on one miserable afternoon when I was doing some inquiries in Yateley, I decided to walk my own dog in the park. And of course, there's dozens and dozens of dog walkers there. And people love their routines. So I made a point of walking in the park around the time Amber had been taken. And I had an excellent result, because I bumped into a couple who were walking their dog, and I spoke to them about the incident. And in conversation with them, they discussed that on that particular Friday, because it had been quite a nice day, they'd been in the park with their dog, and they'd been taking some photographs and they'd been taking some videos of their dog running around the park. And whilst I was with them, they checked their footage, and we had an excellent result, because at a time that the burglary had taken place, the Amber or the orange Ford Ranger is seen driving along Firgrove Road, heading in the direction of Eversley, which helps me because obviously that's the direction where they're taking the dog. But more importantly, it gave us the last 5 numbers of the number plate, the random part of the number plate, and I already had the start of the number plate. So from that inquiry in that park, that stroke of luck, that lovely couple, who obviously are going to remain anonymous, I was able to get the full registration number of the vehicle involved in the incident. One of my main concerns about this particular investigation was Barbara's health. She's 95 and she really was traumatized by the incident. I was very mindful that she'd collapsed on the Saturday, and I could see she wasn't sleeping properly. She was very stressed with not having her little dog at her feet. So we had to ramp up the intensity of the investigation. It became what I call a time-sensitive investigation. So Barbara told me that she wanted to make an appeal to the people that had her dog.
My name is Barbara. I'm 95 years of age. Not that that has got much to do with the situation, but I do spend a lot of time at home. And until recently, it was very, very happy because I had Amber with me. Now she's gone. There's a terrible gulf in my life. The days are long. The nights are even worse because I don't sleep. And my main worry is about her welfare. I'm concerned that she will be traumatized by the fact that she is away from me. I'm very, very concerned that she may not be treated as decently as I would wish. And the whole situation is an absolute nightmare. All I want is to have my dog back with me. I want her here, safe. I want her free from the awful trauma she must be going through at being separated from me. And if you have any connection with the people who've taken her, please see that she is kindly treated. I just can't wait to get her back. Until I do, my life is just on hold. Nothing is happening. Nothing is important. My one thought is to get Amber back safely, unharmed, and just as soon as ever possible.
So the video was released, and it wasn't just a casual release of information on the video. Timing is often crucial in all investigations. So we timed the release of the video to coincide with 2 other key events. One which we were orchestrating, and we'd also heard through the grapevine that one of the individuals that we believed that was involved was also the subject of police interest. I was actually out completing an inquiry at a location where I felt Amber might be held when Douglas contacted me to say, unbelievably, somebody had just knocked at his front door, and he'd opened the door. Before he got to the front door, he heard barking, and when he got there, there's Amber. Douglas obviously was over the moon, and he walked Amber into the house, and she jumped in all over Barbara. And you can just imagine the joy in that household of that amazing reunion. 2 incredibly happy people.
The last time I made a video, I was very, very unhappy, desperately unhappy, because this gorgeous creature had been stolen. And my son and I were really suffering. The days were long, the nights were even worse. And I was helped by a lot of supporting letters from people who wrote to me on the internet. I felt that there was a great deal of sympathy for me here in Yateley. She's fidgeting a bit. Having got through that terrible time and got Amber back, I am extremely grateful for all the support I've had. This week, 2 very kind ladies came along at different times to say how pleased they were to hear she's back and to bring her little treats. She is getting thoroughly spoilt, which is quite a good idea. And I do want to take this opportunity now of saying a very sincere thank you for each and every one of you for all your kindness and your support. I think it would have been much harder for us to get through that terrible time without the messages and knowing that there were people out in Yateley who were right on our side and could feel how we were suffering. So thank you very, very much from Douglas and myself, and of course, Amber.
So wow, what an amazing statement from Barbara. She's a truly lovely person, and I cannot tell you just how happy she is to have Amber back in her life. It's wonderful to see, and I've said this before, the currency that I thrive off in doing my job is to be there when pet owners are reunited with their missing and stolen pets, be it a cat, a dog, or any other type of pet. It's an immensely rewarding experience. So I'm Colin Butcher. You've been watching Pet Detective TV. Thanks very much, and please take care. Bye-bye.